All right, so I do believe that it is recording. All right, yep, we are in fact recording. So, this is a weekly recap of what's been done this week and what we plan on doing next week and moving forward. So, first thing I'm going to cover is the relaunch. Um, in my opinion, the relaunch went absolutely as smooth as it could go. All of the contract sales are moving directly to the Gnosis safe. Everything is as safe as it can be. And with how many people sent in tokens, we were able to restart the market cap even a little bit higher than what it was when we ended. And the reason that is because we took some tokens, obviously, to move it to the Gnosis safe to give to you guys as a claim on January 11th. So the relaunch went smooth. If you guys have any opinions on the relaunch, feel free to drop them in the chat. But in my opinion, the relaunch went as smooth as it could go, and we've been holding fairly nicely. Obviously, a few impatient people took their exit, but that's fine. Once the web app releases, I believe that is when we'll see some true holders for the long term start being onboarded, or even though we already have a pretty solid base. So the relaunch went smooth. That I wanted to recover. Everything's safe. The funds are going great. Everything's in the Gnosis safe. Once the Gnosis safe hits 5 ETH, that is when you guys have all the addresses. That is when we're going to do the buyback and burn and the add liquidity. And what is left from our buyback and burn and add liquidity, we will do this the 40-60 split. So 40% going to your guys' advertisement wallet because you guys get 100% of that, and 60% going to the original Gnosis safe that the dev and I had created. So 5 ETH is when we'll be doing the splits. We hadn't covered that, but I'll be sure to type that up and maybe make a pinned message about it. But every time our Gnosis safe hits 5 ETH is when we'll be doing the buyback. It'll just save on gas, right? We could transfer it every single time, but to transfer the fund into two different safes every time, buyback and burn with liquidity add every time, it starts adding up on gas. Whereas if we just wait till 5 ETH, it'll be four transactions, but we can do bigger amounts, right? So it'll have greater effect on the chart and it'll have greater results. So that is what I wanted to go over on the relaunch. Xtrack is built. It's working. It's already being added to servers. I'm going to get the stats on that tomorrow, but as of yesterday, right, we had only been out for a few days. We were already in 13 different groups. Right now, 13 is not a big number, of course, but it goes to show that people are interested and they're trying out the tech. So our plan for this, right? Our plan for Xtrack, how do we get Xtrack out there and how do we start really collecting advertisements to be able to give back to you guys? The plan is to work with incubators. I'm in talks with Odin right now because he knows a few project incubators. And I'm in talk with another person that also knows some project incubators. And we're going to work out a program, I believe, for the first 3 months, right? 90 days, where we work with incubators. Incubators being people that like VC funding projects, right? Projects that are vetted and they have good intentions. They are going to use Xtrack, and in return, we are going to advertise their project links on our tools. And this is a little bit of a tit for tat kind of exchange deal. But what will happen is we will have Xtrack in many projects. People will start to see it. They will start to see the functionality. They'll be like, wow, this is better than what I'm currently using. Let me try Xtrack. Right. So that is our plan, to get it in the hands of the masses. We could pay 20 callers, and we don't think that would work as well as getting some deals with project incubators, because the projects are already vetted. Right. Whether they succeed or fail, that's up to the market, but they won't rug. Right. Well, one thing that we don't want is Xtrack to start getting abused and used in a whole bunch of pump and dumps. Of course, it will happen because it's a public bot and people will use the bot where they want to use the bot. But we would like if we could, to try to get it in the hands of the right people, right? If the wrong people wind up adopting it after, that's fine. But we'd like to get in the hands of the right people. So that's what we're trying to do with Xtrack. So Odin is supposed to get back to me either today or tomorrow to let me know what they've said on their end. I'm in talks with another guy. It's a little bit of back and forth, but we're different time zones. He's Chinese, so the communication's a little slower. But that is the plan. As soon as we get an incubator and we secure one partnership, we'll let you guys know. And that is how we're going to get X-Rayed out there. By getting X-Rayed out there, the Xtrack ecosystem gets out there. The Xtrack public bot is good. It'll slowly get added into groups, but X-Rayed is a way that our project can be advertised in any project. And usually if you go into a project and you say, hey, have you guys heard of Xtrack? You're going to get the ban hammer. They're going to remove you immediately from the project, and you won't get to talk too much about Xtrack. But by having X-Rayed, everyone will find out about the rest of our tools because they're using this tool here. So incubators is the direction that we are going. Pardon me. Incubators is the direction that we're going for the X-Rayed tool. We feel like this is the best path, and it's the way to get it out there as fast as we can. So when we have some partnerships, we'll let you guys know. Currently, we have none, but we have some in the works that we're working on really hard behind the scenes to try to get them secured and finalized. This will already fill some of our advertisement slots for us as well. So it's honestly a win-win when you look at both situations. Sure, we're giving some advertisement slots away, but currently, who is going to pay for our advertisement slots, right? We're in 13 groups. It's slowly going to grow. The number's going to grow. When the number hits a good number, that is when people will want to advertise. If they come and look and they see, oh, look, you see that project? Yeah, it did well the other day. Oh, it was advertised on Xtrack. We're already going to have projects advertised. They won't be paying anything at first because they're going to be doing our free marketing. But when people come to pay, seeing other people on the web, it will give them the illusion that other people have paid, right? It'll be, oh, wow, look, all these people have paid for ads. I'm going to pay for ads too, right? So it's going to do very, very well in that aspect, right? And eventually, once the incubation program is finished, right? Once the 90 days are finished, if they still want to keep advertising with us, that is fine, but they will have to pay as well, right? So we're doing this for like a promo period to get our name out there, to get everybody and the eyes on the web app, right? The web app is what I'm going to touch on right after this. So yeah, by getting eyes on the web app, that gets revenue into the pocket of holders, right? The advertisements, early bird access. Yeah. So I wanted to touch on that as well for the web app, right? The web app is the next thing that the dev is currently working on. He will be doing updates to X-Rayed, of course, and the holder tool, if anything, if there's a bug or something's not working, or there's still a few aesthetic touches that we want to do on X-Rayed, he will be doing that. But right now, the main focus is the web app. We're trying to get the web app out by New Year's at least, right? We'd love to get it by Christmas, but we're going to say New Year's. Like to get it out by New Year's, fully functional, advertisements working, so that we can start doing our push into 2024. So the web app is the dev's sole focus right now. If you guys have any bugs to report on X-Rayed or anything like that, please do it. We still encourage you to do that, and it will get fixed. But aside from bugs and a few aesthetic upgrades, right now it's full focus on the web app. Get the web app built. Once that's fully built, we can start pushing our incubator program. All the eyes will go on the web app. We'll have all our advertisement slots, and we have a fully built ecosystem, right? Based around Twitter. Currently, all of our tools are based around Twitter. Now, from there, right, after the web app is released, we're hoping around New Year's, the plan is going to be to perfect all of these tools, right? Make sure X-Rayed can be scaled out fully. If there's any bug reports, it's well and scaled out. The web app, add community features that you guys have been requesting, as well as some features that are still in the suggestion box that we need to work on, but we realize that it would be much easier to provide it with a web app. This is why these have gone on the back burner, not because we've forgotten about them, but because once we have the web app, it'll just be easier to accomplish. So that's the vision for up until New Year's and afterwards. So New Year's, hopefully the web app is done and fully functional. Then for that month, we're going to plan on perfecting everything so that everything is running smooth. It's a well-oiled machine. All of the features that you guys have requested get added, right? And then we move on to other areas. So we're hoping beginning of February is when we can start tackling things that are not Twitter related, right? Like some people There's a list of suggestions in the suggestions box. I'd have to go over them, but it ranges from contract deployment to how many snipers are looking at a contract to maybe a sniper bot of our own, right? Like there's a long list in the suggestion box that you guys have suggested. That is when we're going to start cranking out on those non-Twitter related ideas, because by February, we feel that we'll have our tool at a place where it's untouchable in the realm of Twitter, whether it comes to rating, whether it comes to data aggregation. We will have Twitter fully covered, and all the bases covered, right? All your features that you guys have wanted and requested. So that is when we start moving on into other areas. And that's about where we're at for now, right? We have the plan up until February, and then February, it'll be up to the community on what suggestions we should do first. If you guys want, a custom sniper bot for gold tier, if you guys want, an alert that lets you know how many snipers are looking at a specific contract, right? That'll be up to you guys to decide. We can have some voice chats like we're doing right now. You guys can put in your suggestions, and we'll just have a vote like we've always been doing, right? I'll pin the vote, I'll pin the poll, and that's virtually how we'll decide on that. So that's the future plan for moving forward. Is there anything else to touch on? X-Raid's been covered. The web app's been covered. Dex Tools update. I guess I could touch on that. We paid for the Dex Tools update yesterday, so now all of our information is fully updated once again. Spent the 0.5 on that. So at least now when people open up our chart, they'll be able to find our information. AMAs. AMAs are where I am personally going myself, right? That is my vision for how we get the word out there moving forward. In the past, we've paid many callers, right? Not saying that we're not going to get some partnerships, but when it comes to the best effect for the community and onboarding the best holders, I feel like that has happened through AMAs. I remember the Coin Merge AMA. I have multi-screens open, so I always have an Xtrack chart open, and I'm always watching our project very closely. And during the Coin Merge AMA, while I was speaking to that community, quite a few buys started coming in. They liked what I was explaining to them. They understood the passion, right? A typed up paragraph from a caller to people that he calls 5 projects to a day, that's not passion, right? So I'm currently in talk with Dogecoin Ride. Dogecoin Ride has said we can absolutely have a spot. There's no problem like that. He likes the project. He actually heard about us before I even contacted him. So we're probably going to book a slot with him for next Friday. We're going to book a slot for him for next Friday. We could have done this Friday, but we're going to do next Friday because I have another AMA next week as well. And I believe one on Wednesday and one on Friday for next week with the audience size that we're going to be presenting to will be beneficial. So one is Dogecoin Ride. So Dogecoin Ride, I'm going to be locking him in for next Friday. Most likely today or tomorrow, sometime over the weekend. I'll send him the payment, and we're going to be giving some access codes to his community as well. And the next person is Savior Crypto, right? So I can get their I'll just drop their Twitter ads in here so you guys can see who they are yourselves. Give me 1 second. There we go. This is Savior Crypto right there. That's on Twitter, right? Not on Telegram. I don't know if he's the same on Telegram. Yeah, no. So yeah, that's on Twitter. So that's his Twitter at, and then we got at Dogecoin Ride. So we'll probably be doing an AMA with those two communities. Of course, unless right, if any of you have any feedback or input, I'm always here to receive it and hear it. So if you guys have any, I guess you would say you dislike these guys for any reason, or just feel free to let me know in the DMs, or if there's any objections, right? If there's any objections to these guys, just let me know. But as far as I've seen, their spaces look fairly authentic. They have good hosts. It's a very good question. So So I see no problem in presenting to their communities. Now, if you guys have any communities that you would suggest to me that would be good, right? I'm happy to hear it out. So if you guys have any ideas for AMAs that I could go present to, I'm happy to contact them and see if we can set it up, right? Crypto Fundamentals is another one, right? Who's in the DMs, who said he's open to doing the AMA, but unfortunately he didn't want access code. So I'm just going to wait a little bit on Crypto Fundamentals, because one thing I truly like doing when we do an AMA is giving out access codes, because so far we have about an 85% turnover rate. People that we've given access to, because we can see the Telegram accounts connected to the bot, right? People that we've given access codes to have actually purchased and become holders. So giving access codes is highly beneficial to us. So I like doing AMAs where the hosts have looked into the project, they realize everything is safe, everything is good, there's no problem giving away access codes, and we get to give away some access codes, right? It usually gets us an ETH discount in getting a slot for the AMA, as well as it probably gets us some onboarded users. Access codes have been doing very well, and more people buy and hold than decide, hey, this isn't for me, by, like I say, 85%. So we're trying to give out access codes to people that we can. So let's see. I just got some DMs here. So yeah. AMAs, I think that's covering most of it. If something comes to mind or you guys got any questions, like I say, feel free to ask or let me know. But I think that covers most of what happened this past week. We had the relaunch. We launched Xtrack. It's working smooth. We did the emoji updates that you guys asked for, right? We got it looking a little bit cleaner, and we're going to improve on that a bit more. The video, right? We're going to get a nice HD video for when you start the raid and for when you end the raid. That'll be getting taken care of shortly. I'm going to be buying the AWS storage buckets to store my video in today. I just need to go to the store to grab a prepaid card, because you never want to connect your real credit card to those buckets, because you never know if it just starts charging you crazy amounts of money when you're not realizing it. So yeah, just got to go get a prepaid credit card, pay for the AWS storage bucket, and we'll probably have the high definition video for the Xtrack, because I know a few of you has asked for that. Plans moving forward, we touched on that. We covered that. We're going to be Twitter focused up until probably the beginning of February, and then we'll probably have the fully working ecosystem where, you know, all the Twitter ecosystem needs is updates, because most of the tech is fully built out. Then we move on to other things. And I touched on the AMAs, right? We're still looking for partnerships. You know, if it's with the right person. We've been considering Gandalf for a long-term partnership, because we got him for a midterm, but we've been considering him to get him on board for a lifetime partnership. Odin seems like he's going to be on board, but he is, like I say, not a paid caller. He only does it because he truly believes in the project. So he looks like he's going to be fully onboarded. But I'm still open to partnerships, right? If you guys got people that you think would be good for Xtrack, just mention them to me and I will contact them. But mainly focused on AMAs, because I feel talking to people with passion about your product serves far more purpose than having someone who talks about 7 different projects a day write a paragraph about your product and shill it to the same people he shilled the other 6 projects to today, right? In an AMA, I will be the only person that they hear. I am not a caller that has called to them many times before. I'm talking to them about a project that I am creating. I'm talking to them about a community that I am a part of that I find absolutely amazing. So I believe that AMAs will serve more of a purpose than callers. I'm open to partnerships. Happy to look into whoever you guys think might be a good fit. But the further we move on, more, like I say, more of these influencers, they want a quick partnership, let's say, right? They don't want anything long term, and we're planning on being here for multiple years. So we don't want a quick partnership, right? I'd rather talk to a crowd of 500 people and tell them about the product and how great the community is myself, than have someone that's going to do that maybe for 2-3 days and then just disappear and never talk about the product again or use it himself or have any input to the community, any suggestions, right? Like it's better to get community members onboarded that are going to be like you guys that have suggestions that help make the tool better, as opposed to getting someone that's going to write up a paragraph and then probably not answer his DMs for the next month, right? So that's how I feel, right? But you guys steer me in the direction you want me to go. This was just a recap because I'm sure you guys are wondering what's going on with the marketing. Marketing wise, we see getting on good AMAs with big platforms would be the better way to go, as opposed, I'd rather get 5 AMAs than 5 callers. Let's put it that way. And if you guys see it differently, if you guys say, hey, 5 callers would be far better than you going to speak on 5 AMAs, you just feel free to let me know. I'm still happy to get callers and partnerships. I'm not saying I'm not. I'm just saying I am focused on AMAs right now. If you guys bring me a really good partnership to the table that you think is good, I'm happy to do it. But the ones that I've been going over, aside from Odin and Gandalf, they want quick. They want quick in and out. And we're not a quick in and out. We're a long-term project, right? So yeah, for the longevity of the project and to make sure that we're also getting what we pay for, right? Because it's, we're spending money that could be spent on, server hosting upgrades. So we need to spend our marketing very, very wisely, right? At the beginning, it wasn't. We wanted to build the trust. We spent on quite a few different callers, right? And you guys seen the effect, right? Some of them had no effect at all, but we spent the ETH. So now you agree, crypto accountant? Okay, well, I appreciate that, sir. So yeah, I just feel like that's the way. I have passion about this. I'm sure you guys can tell. I'm here every single day. I've even got the wifey in the Telegram now helping out. So I'm passionate about this. Like, I wouldn't be involving people that I love and family members into my project if, I didn't have the best intentions at heart. So yeah, that's where I feel we'll have the greatest success, because intent matters. Intent really matters. And like I say, when you've called 7 projects one day and you add Xtrack to the list of projects, what intent is that? Right? What's your intent? So I feel like me going in front of crowd, and like I say, you guys tell me if you guys say, hey, this is a good spaces, you need to be on this good audience. The audience is authentic, not botted, whatever it might be, right? I'm happy to do it. I'm absolutely happy to do it. So yeah, please bring them to my attention, because that's where I feel the best effect is. Like the coin merge space was amazing for us. That did amazing. We definitely onboarded some users on the coin merge spaces. And I feel Twitter spaces would be the way to go. I might even start, once we do a few Twitter spaces with a few big audiences, I might start doing this here on Twitter instead of Telegram. Now, you guys tell me, right? I can still do one on both. I can do one on Telegram and one on Twitter. I just feel that once we get a Twitter audience and a Twitter presence, it would be good if we showed our face on Twitter, frequently. So if someone only hopped into the AMA that we had on Twitter and caught the end of it, right, they can hop into a new AMA that's just Xtrack AMA with the community, and they can ask their questions and, maybe feel a little bit more comfortable, because we'll obviously have a smaller audience and they won't be asking a question in front of, 300-400 people. I tell people while I'm in those AMAs, send me a DM if you're shy, right? Because some people don't want to ask your question about Xtrack in front of 400 people, but they have a question. And if that question is answered, they might turn into a holder. So I do anything always to try to answer the community questions, whether in these DMs or the Twitter DMs. So that is where I think our best path lies. In my opinion, that is how we gain the most traction. We get the most exposure. We get Xtrack in a few project incubators. We give them free advertisement. They give us free advertisement by using our X-Raid tool. X-Raid starts getting into the hands of very many users. Because it's in the hand of many users and many projects, it onboards people to Xtrack and the further utility like the web app and the Telegram bot. And it's a nice hamster wheel, you could call it, right? That's what you want in an ecosystem. You want a hamster wheel. You want it to keep generating. You want it to keep spinning. And I think that's what we've created here. We've created a hell of a hamster wheel, And I think it's going to succeed. It's just going to take time. That's the only thing, right? It's just time. Rome wasn't built in a day, but we built the whole Xtract system if we get done by New Year's and all in less than 4 months, right? So that's an ecosystem. For those, I know some people were here on day one. We had the most basic trending bot you could think of, and now we have a whole ecosystem because we wanted to show you guys what work ethic looks like. We could have built the entire product beforehand, but sometimes it's better when you see the work. You understand how difficult things are. You understand the hours that had to go into a product to appreciate it that much more. And I feel like that's what we've done here by letting you guys see the work ethic and see the work effort. You've seen the passion. You've seen the blood, sweat, and tears go into the product. You've seen us up long hours answering questions, putting in your suggestions, right? We could have built our own product with our own ideas, but this shows you guys the work effort. And I think many of you guys appreciate that, right? And that's something I've always wanted to see in projects that I was in, right? It's a guy typing at a keyboard. Most projects I've traded in, it's a guy typing at a keyboard. Like, that's not hard to do. You shouldn't be getting paid millions of dollars to type at a keyboard. Like, you know what I mean? You should be putting blood, sweat, and tears, hours, losing sleep, grinding it. That's who should succeed in this space. So that's what we're doing here. We've been doing it. We're going to keep doing it. I think you guys appreciate it. Ernst definitely appreciates it. He says so in the comments. So I love you, Ernst. Appreciate that. And it's just going to take some time. So as long as you guys can have some patience with us, like personally, I do a little trading on the side when I have an hour free, right? And if I make some profits, I rotate it back into Xtract. So you guys know what I'm doing with my personal funds. That's how I've been treating this project, because I think you should put your money where your mouth is. If you're asking people to invest in your project, you should invest it in yourself. And I've been doing that. So we're just going to keep doing that. That's the path moving forward. We're going to have another AMA next week. But like I said, after these Twitter spaces that we do, I think it would be a good idea if we start hosting some Twitter spaces of our own, just in case some people in giant crowds are shy and they don't want to ask their questions. So that pretty much covers it for like this VC recap of the week and the plan moving forward. I'll open the floor for questions, right? This is your guys' time. Please ask the questions. You guys know how I feel about questions. I love them. Even if you don't have a question, think one up and ask it. I love it. But no, yeah, ask your questions if you have any. And if not, then we'll wrap up the VC. If you feel there's something I haven't touched on that you want me to touch on, you can do that as well, right? Because I don't want to be leaving anything out. But I think I've done a fairly good job covering most of the things. But yeah, feel free to unmute yourself and talk if you want, or just feel free to ask the questions in the chat. Andy, I see you're in here. Can you unmute? Are you able to unmute? Might be busy right now, watching a footy match. I got kids screaming. No worries, then, Andy. No worries. So yeah, I see Carl's typing. So if Carl has a question, I'm a big fan of your plan to host Twitter aligns with the Xtract. Yeah, right. That's another thing, right? Like, I mean, we're moving into more than Xtract in the future, but you're right. We are a Twitter-based tool, so hosting some Twitter Spaces would probably not be a bad idea. Also, some people might just know us on Twitter. They might not even be in our Telegram, right? I know how I personally trade and how I investigate projects, but that might not be right. Some people might just be looking at our tweets, and so working around the clock. How can we help you? Just if you know someone, doing a project, or you're in a project, right? Say you're in a project early and someone says, hey, add Chatter Shield. Maybe say no. How about you try X-Rate, right? That helps. That helps. That might get a project using X-Rate. You see, like things like that, just sharing around the tools, right? Like I do this, right? See this tools list? Share this with your friends. There's a holders only, like the web app is going on holders only as well. Well, it's going to be subscription based, but holders are going to have complete free access. But share these tools around. That's how you can help. Share the tools. Get more eyes on the tools. Tell your friends about Xtrack. Tell a group that you're in about Xtrack. That's how you can help. Aside from that, like I say, I'm always working behind the scenes. As you guys see, I got, like I say, the AMAs with the people that I mentioned are lined up. I can lock them in at any time. So if you guys are happy with those, I'll definitely lock them in. And then I can work on any other AMAs that you guys might want. So feel free to suggest those. And yeah, like, I mean, aside from that, just share the tools around, right? Share the tools around. If you think someone might be good for Xtrack in a long-term partnership or an AMA, bring it to the table. But that's all you guys can do as community members, and have patience, right? Just have some patience, because this is what this play is going to take, right? Even in 2024 January, right? A month from now, we still got so much to build. But once the full vision, right? More than Twitter, all of the tools that we have in mind and that the community has suggested are all built and are all in place under one roof. This will be a train that you cannot stop. It's that simple. It will be a train that you just cannot stop. We have put everything in place with the revenue share and everything's in place. Like, the ecosystem is almost fully built. The web app is right there. You guys have seen it. I've showed you guys videos. You've seen it with your own eyes. It's right there. It's right at the cusp. And once everything's built, it's only upgrades and building things that you guys want that are not Twitter related. We have built the Twitter ecosystem, and this hamster wheel will keep spinning. As long as we have advertisements, there will be revenue share. As long as there's revenue share, there will be new holders. As long as there's new holders, there will be volume. As long as there's volume, there will be taxes. As long as there's taxes, there will be more revenue share. As long as there's more revenue share, there will be, I don't need to keep going. You guys get how the hamster wheel works. It won't stop. The train will keep moving forward. So just have some patience with us. We're at the cusp of having the full eposystem built, and then we can go full build mode and start building other areas and other aspects that you guys have wanted. Maybe, a new contract deployment scanner, how many snipers are looking. We've mentioned the ideas, right? We're not going to mention all of the ideas for the AMA to be heard by the world, but you guys have made some of the suggestions. They're all in the suggestion box. Don't think they've been forgotten about. They've just been put on the shelf until we can get the time to do it, and until we were in a position to be able to do it the best way that we could. Only thing with all right, so I got a big fan of your plan. Only thing with Twitter is can't screen share. I think people seeing the screen explaining is powerful. True. I do agree with that. I do completely agree with that. I think Twitter has a pinned feature where you can pin pictures to the top of the spaces. I don't know if there's a video. I think Elon has maybe built a video feature, though. I'd have to look into spaces a bit more, Andy. I'm honestly not an expert. I agree with what you're saying, though, that sharing your screen is definitely a powerful way to go across with the spaces. But let me look into that, because I do believe I think you can now, or I think Elon was trying to test that, right, with this Diablo game, if I'm not mistaken. So if you can, then I will share the screen, absolutely. But I'm also happy to do one in the Telegram for people when it comes to a screen sharing thing. I just don't want to miss out on any audience that might, like I say, if we do a Twitter Spaces, maybe they don't join our Telegram, right? Usually from a Twitter Spaces, what happens on the Twitter Spaces that I've done, especially with CoinMerge, is we got lots of followers. We got lots of new followers. I didn't see quite a few people pile into the Telegram. So I just want to make sure that we can present to that audience that might not even be in the Telegram chat. Once we've done quite a few Twitter Spaces and we get, quite a few followers onboarded, have a Twitter Spaces for those followers to direct them to the Telegram, let them know about the tech, be able to, listen to the team, right? I'm sure most people that have listened to me speak can sense my passion and my honesty. So I think that's only beneficial, right? And I just don't want us losing on any audience, because as I see, we had a few more people in here previously. Now we have a few less. I just don't want to be missing any audience. So that's why I want to start hosting some Twitter Spaces. But I will look into the video aspect, because I completely agree. I didn't share my video here today because there was nothing really to share. We weren't. I've done the X-ray tutorial. Most of the people have been in here and have been seeing it work. So yeah, I didn't record the screen today. I think the AMAs were, aside from a few great callers, I think you speak on a project. Absolutely. So I think the same thing. And if there's no other questions, Nick, what about you? Are you driving right now? Can you hop on? Unmute your
Yeah, I'm driving and I just woke up from my little nap. That's why I couldn't speak.
All right, mate. All right. You drive. Will you make sure that you drive safe, and don't forget to order your coffee. But when you order your coffee, make sure it's not while you're on Spaces.
Right, I've already had 2 coffees. I've had a nap, and it's only 7 o'clock in the morning. Not even. So,
Oh, wow. So you've been driving through the night then, eh?
no. I got up at 3 o'clock, but I went to bed late. So yeah, I'm a bit. How you going? This time of the year is very hard to get motivated because I know the holidays are coming and I can't be bothered getting out of bed. So yeah, it is what it is. I call it the grind, the Christmas grind. I don't like the Christmas grind.
Yeah, yeah, that's what me and the dev are calling it too. So actually, I'm happy you touched on that. I'm happy you touched on Christmas, because it like one other thing that I can add to the Spaces. So the dev has 2 weeks off starting on the 18th. He is going to work right until Christmas, right? Try to get the web app completely finished. And then from Christmas Day and a few days after, the dev and I will be taking a few days for family. Just wanted to let you guys know that, we haven't disappeared on you on Christmas, but the dev's going to work from the 18th of December right until Christmas Day. And then Christmas Day and a few days after, I'll have my cell phone. I'll still be here if you guys need me, but we're going to take, a few days to go visit our families and have a little bit of Christmas celebration ourselves. So I just wanted to touch on that, because I didn't want anyone thinking, if from the 25th to the 27th, 28th, it's a little bit inactive in here, that we vanished on you. No, we're just having a few Christmas dinners
Well,
with our
if
families.
if if you need any more mods just to moderate, just in case something happens, or what I mean, just questions or whatever, I'm willing to put my hand up for it if you want. But again, while you're touching on Christmas, I'll be gone from the 28th to the 8th of January. I'm going to Fiji for about 10 days, so I'll still have my cell phone on me, but yeah, I won't. I'll try to stay away from all that type of stuff and just spend more time with the family, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
no, like, well, I hope you enjoy your 10-day vacation, but no, we'll be good. Like I said, I'll have my cell phone on me. I just, as you guys can see, like, honestly, on the daily, I'm usually either updating the Git book, making a YouTube video, making a lot of tweets, chatting quite a bit in here. I'm just saying, like, I'll be here, and if I see a question, hey, I can't connect, I'll be there to answer. I'm just not going to be highly active on those days, right? I won't be updating the Git book. I won't be making 4 tweets a day. I'm just going to be a little bit more chill on those days, but I'll be here. I'll be around 100%.
Okay, that's fine. The offer's there anyway, so if you need it, I'm around. So yeah, whatever.
Appreciate it,
All good.
boss. That's awesome of you. But yeah, all right. So I'm going to take a look in the chat, see if there's any other questions. I don't think there is. I appreciate all of you guys for joining. It's been a great time talking with you guys. I hope that I've covered all of the aspects that you guys wanted to hear about. If I haven't, like I said, I'll be here for the rest of the day. You guys can ask your questions at any time. But that's going to wrap it up for this AMA. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your days, and we'll catch up next week. You guys have a great one. Cheers.